Well, a warm welcome to this edition of the Morning Call, where the progress to the ongoing national dialogue in the Democratic Republic of Congo is now under major threat after one of the key players, the National Episcopal Conference of Congo, decided to suspend their participation following a protest that left more people dead on the second day in the country. Now, opposition buildings, including the Kinshasa headquarters, were torched during clashes between anti-government protesters and the security authorities in the country. Now, the threat leaves talks by parties involved having been based on the fact that it was a forum to justify why President Joseph Kabila should continue being in power. Have a look at this.
The aftermath of violent protests in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Armed men set fire to the headquarters of DRC's main opposition party, leaving at least 2 people dead. 4 other opposition party offices were also set ablaze. According to BBC Africa's French service, witnesses said that members of the Presidential Guard were behind one of the attacks. Deadly protests erupted on Monday after the country's electoral commission decided to postpone the next presidential election due to be held in November. The opposition viewed this as a ploy for President Joseph Kabila to prolong his stay in power despite being barred by constitutional term limits to run for re-election. There are conflicting reports as to the number of deaths so far. While the government says 17 people have been killed, the opposition puts the toll at 50 people, while Human Rights Watch says that at least 37 people have died. The international community has called for calm in the country, while activists in DRC have created an online event as part of their efforts to mount pressure on President Kabila to step aside.
Reactions from the international community continue to pour in the country since the day before yesterday. French President François Hollande described the violence in the country as unacceptable and that the elections have to be conducted in accordance with the constitution. And then the Congolese Foreign Affairs Minister met with envoys from the UN yesterday afternoon, an opportunity to call for calm and to avoid violence. The participants also called on the expansion of the dialogue to largely include the opposition. But the national dialogue seems more and more compromised following the Catholic Church's decision to withdraw. It was also among the mediators of the crisis. To better understand this, we're joined this morning by the Reverend Donatien Nshobe. What are some of the reasons on why you are suspending your participation in the dialogue?
Oui, il y a d'abord aussi une question de responsabilité à établir. C'est pas normal que les gens...
First, there's the matter of responsibility that has to be established. It's not normal for people to just die like that, like dogs. The bishops decided to suspend their participation. They were stopped by the blood of our brothers and sisters who have paid the price for the Constitution. It's a sign of the times. In respect of those who died, they decided to have the suspension in order to grieve, but also to seek a broader consensus. If the dialogue was to end today, a good number of the population would not feel concerned. That is why they want to take advantage of this to challenge everyone, because we are all responsible in one way or the other for the whole situation.
Tous responsables quelque part de cette situation.
The bishops remind us that the Congolese people are brothers, fellow citizens of a state that they have to build together. It's this environment of peace that the Church wants to promote, and they will engage in dialogue that will bring solutions and not provoke crisis. What's your position on the issue of the presidential elections?
Dans le même communiqué, les évêques rappellent.
In the same report, the bishops have reminded us that in respect of the constitutional framework, any political agreement has to take into account certain fundamental issues.
Devra tenir compte de certains fondamentaux. La première chose relevée par les évêques dans leur communiqué,
The first thing, it must be clearly established and stated that the current president of the republic will not run in the next presidential elections, that the dates of these expected elections be mentioned in this agreement, the plan for the disbursement of funds necessary for the elections be defined in this agreement. Its implementation by the monitoring committees who have to give a guarantee of all that has been decided upon. The writing will not be forgotten, so a committee has to be set up immediately.
Well,
that was Reverend Shole of the National Episcopal Church in the country. We'll be right back with the African Journal.